Good afternoon, everyone. The town of Hinton respectfully acknowledges that it is located on Treaty 6 territory in Métis Nation Region Number 4. These are the traditional territories and ancestral lands of the indigenous peoples, including the Plain Cree First Nations, the Sinnewuchie Winnewag Rocky Mountain First Nations, Stoney, Tsuut'ina, Nakota, Denisulin, Saulteaux, Mountain Métis, Michif, and many other communities that continue to enrich the land on which the town of Hinton was established. And with that, I'd like to call this meeting to order at 4:01. Council, any additions or deletions to today's agenda? None. Administration?
None from administration.
Thank you. With that, I'll entertain a motion. Councillor Hawes.
I'd like to move that we adopt the regular council agenda for October 12th, 2021.
Thank you, Councillor Hawes. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Any debate? Seeing none, I'll call for question. All those in favor? That's passed unanimously. That'll bring us to our council minutes for adoption. Council, any questions or direction? Council, what would you like to do with this? Councillor Race.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move that we adopt the minutes for a regular meeting of council, October 5th, 2021.
Thank you, Councillor Race. Council, once again, we have a motion on the floor. Seeing none, I'll call to question. All those in favor? That's also passed unanimously. That'll bring us to our citizens' minute with council. Administration, are there any this evening?
No.
Seeing none, thank you. And we have no delegations and presentations. That'll bring us to our action item for this evening, Fortis Alberta franchise fee rider for 2022. Interim CEO Howard.
Thank you, Mayor Michaels, through to council. So this is an item that council sees at this time each year to set the franchise fee rider for the next budget year. So we reviewed kind of the background of sort of what franchise fees are and how they work. This is a bit of a reminder, and for those who may not be familiar with that. There are a couple moving parts with this. So while our current rate is set at 12.7, few options in front of council. If you left that rate the same, it would actually be an increase in revenue for the town. And that's based on a few of the factors that Fortis provides the town and that their formula is based on. You can see in the chart on page 10 of your package sort of what's happened in the previous years, and how leaving the rate the same, for example, does generate different outcomes in revenue for the town. There's the option to reduce it to 11.73%, and that would generate approximately the same amount that was generated for the 2021 budget. So again, while the rider fee percentage would go down, it would generate the same amount of revenue for the town. So the recommendation in front of you from administration is that council direct administration to advertise for 2 weeks with the town's intent to decrease the Fortis Alberta franchise fee from 12.7 to 11.73 effective January 1st, 2022. And so any change to the current rate, whether that's an increase or a decrease, does have to be advertised for 2 weeks. And then further to that Fortis Alberta franchise rider fee for 2022 report with public notification feedback be brought back to a future regular council meeting before November 1st for a decision. And that November 1st deadline is the one that's provided to us from Fortis Alberta. If you have questions, we can take them now.
Thank you, CEO Howard. Council. Any questions or direction? Councillor Race.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to move that we go with option 2, which would be franchise fee rider, no change. And if I could speak to that, please. Just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we actually made a motion, and it ended up we will lose $20,000 just by changing our tax penalty from 9 and 6 to 5 and 10. We lost money. And how do we make that back? Do we do it in taxes? Do we do it in decreased services? this is an opportunity to not lose any more money. It would not have a negative impact on the community. So that's why I'm going with option 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Reyes. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Councilor Magoon.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. No, unfortunately, I won't be able to support that in this case. This has certainly been an area of contention that I've experienced across my time as a councillor. There's other things to consider with the franchise fee rider. You know, the fact that this is something that citizens see in multiple ways when they get their power bills, their transmission bills. The GST that's applied on top of that as well is another issue that I've spoken to citizens in the community about. And in this case, I simply cannot support maintaining a 12.7% rider in this instance. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Magoon. Councilor Hawes.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I too can't support that motion. If it wasn't coming directly already from the user groups, which is our citizens of Hinton, but to reduce it, keep the revenue at the same as this year, I would support keeping it at the same and not increasing it. If it come from somewhere else, if it come directly from Fortis, but Fortis is just charging the customers to make up that difference, and I just don't see that happening. We can find, if there's other places to find money, we can find that money through the budget process. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Hawes. Council? I'll be speaking against this motion. I have same concerns as Councilor Magoon from previous years. I originally wanted to keep it at 10.7%. I really like administration's recommendation to keep the same budgeted amount without doing an increase. To me, that keeps us at the same level. And if we have to find other tax dollars at other places, I'd rather find it in a different means than through the franchise fee is my preference. Councilor Reyes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, option 2 is saying, to me, how I read it, is we will stay at 12.7. There's no change. My big concern is if we reduce it, where do we make up that money that I think administration would like to see as revenue to take care of that operating budget? Where do we make that money up? So that's a concern to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Reyes. Councilor Hawes.
Yeah, thank you. I disagree with the no change because in 2020, we took in $18,588. If we left it at 12.7% in 2021, 2021, yeah, it'd be $56,716 is how I read it. So there would be a change, leaving the percentage at the same. It would increase that, and that just is on the backs of our residents. So I don't see keeping it at 12.7%. Like I said, I think we can find it other places if that's the case. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Hawes. Council, anything further before I call this to question? Seeing none. I'll call to question. The council set the Fortis Alberta franchise fee rider at 12.7% for the 2022, and that administration notified Fortis Alberta before November 1st, 2021 of this no change status. Council, all those in favor? Opposed? That was defeated. Councilor Magoon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make the recommended action. The council direct administration to advertise for 2 consecutive weeks the town's intent to decrease the Fortis Alberta franchise fee rider from 12.7% to 11.73%, effective January 1st, 2022. And I'll try this, that the Fortis Alberta franchise fee rider for the 2022 report with public notification feedback be brought to a future regular council meeting before November 1st, 2021 for decision. And I think I've really already spoke to this, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Magoon. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Councilor Nelson.
I'll be speaking in favor of this. This also gives the next council flexibility to make a final decision. So if the next council does determine that 12.7 is the number they need for revenues, that's a decision that can still be made. So to me, I would like to see this number continue to decline, at least till we're halfway between the 0 and maximum of 20. I think there's a value in the user pay portion of this, and it does make sense at some levels. I would rather see taxes go up through taxation, which is a lot more transparent, a lot more straightforward. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nelson. Councillor Stashik.
Thank you, Mayor Michaels. I too will be speaking in support of this. I think of the options before us, this is the most responsible. By reducing the percentage rate, we'll be generating exactly the same amount of revenue as we did last year, $1,273,949. This also gives an opportunity for the public to provide feedback. I think a lot of the discussion around this in the past has revolved around that this is a form of non-transparent taxation, which when you look a little bit deeper into it though, is just simply not the case. Because it's a franchise fee, it is a cost to Fortis. They have to pass it on in some way so that they can recover that cost that they pay to the town. But the one thing that I do like about this, because it's a franchise fee that's applied onto your bill that you get, it is a user pay system rather than collecting revenue through taxation. This is why I want to see this come back to the future council. There's an opportunity for some discussion between now and then, and information collection to make an informed decision when it does come back. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stashik. Council, anything further? Seeing none. Call to question the council direct administration to advertise for 2 consecutive weeks the town's intent to decrease the Fortis Alberta franchise fee rider from 12.7 to 11.73 effective January 1st, 2022, and that the Fortis Alberta franchise fee rider for 2022 report with public notification feedback be brought to a future regular council meeting before November 1st, 2021 for decision. Council, all those in favor? That passed unanimously. Council, anything further for this item this evening? Seeing none, that'll bring us to our reporting for this evening, and I will start on my right with Councillor Haas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, I don't have anything to report this evening, other than this is our last regular of the term. So I'm just happy to be here, happy with the 4 years, and happy to be with this crew. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Haas. Councillor Magoon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, much in the same vein as Councillor Hawes. I just want to express my appreciation to everybody for the past 4 years, and certainly to the public. Most importantly, thanks for letting us serve. I look forward to the remaining 6 days of the election, and I would like to wish all of the candidates who put their names forward the best of luck as they're closing in on the end of the election. And everybody who might be listening, Monday's the big day. If you haven't voted in any of the early balloting, pardon me, get out and vote. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Magoon. Councillor Race.
Oh, thank you, sir. I was a little premature last Tuesday, thinking that was our last regular council meeting, when I thanked admin and my fellow councillors, and my comments remain the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Race. Councillor Nelson.
Yeah, not a ton to report. We did have a quick community futures meeting today. We just had to update some policies to be in line with Western economic diversification. So it's just a quick and easy one. Yeah, that's all I have to report, but it's been a complete honor serving with everybody on council and for the citizens of Hinton. And I look forward to seeing the next group of 7 and the administrators do some great work over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nelson. And Councillor Stashik.
Thank you, Mayor Michaels. Just one thing quickly, sorry. When I was speaking to the franchise fee, I quoted the wrong number. It's $1,330,665 for 2021, and that would be the target for 2022 as well. So with that said, I also just want to say that I too have been honored to serve as Hinton, to represent Hinton citizens for the past 4 years. And I wish good luck to all the candidates that have thrown their name in. And yeah, look forward to seeing what comes up. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stashik. For myself, it's been a great different, unique 48 months together as a council. You're put in a position to work with people sometimes you don't even know. And you represent the collective together. And I think we've grown from day one to at least end in a way better place to understand our roles as councilors. So it's been a fun journey. And I want to thank administration. There's a mix of old and new here in this room, and I know within the organization. And it's not always the easiest to deal with councils. And we appreciate your patience, your hard work, your professionalism in everything that you've done. And I look forward to the next council, whatever that group of 7 looks like, to continue to work with you. And your efforts don't go unnoticed, so we appreciate that. And to all the residents, probably the most important part, because administration and council both want to work hard for the people in our community. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity. And we look forward, whoever it is, to serve you and continue this role with pride. So thank you, everyone. And with that, that'll bring us to urgent matters. Council, any urgent matters? Seeing none. CAO Howard.
Mayor Michaels, through to council. I know last week I provided an updated number on the voters that came out on the first advance poll. We had our second one on the 7th. The numbers are up from that at 471. So people are continuing to really show up and participate, which is excellent and what all this is about for sure. So we have another one tomorrow, and then of course, as mentioned, the main one on Monday the 18th. And if I may just take this opportunity as well to just thank each of you for your the last 4 years of service to the community and to the organization. And we just have a small token of appreciation, if I could take a moment to distribute that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Should we raffle off Councilor Watt?
I'll make that motion.
Sure to get back to them. Again, thank you very much, sincerely.
Thank you. I know I thanked the administration, but I think on behalf of council, I do want to do a special thank you to interim CAO Howard for stepping in. There's not an ideal time, but just before an election is not an ideal time. For sure. So we appreciate that, and we can't put into words what it's meant for the organization and for us. So thank you. And with that, that'll bring us to our administrative inquiries. Are there any tonight? Any notices of motions, which I don't even know is legal. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to go to closed session with a 3-minute break. Councilor Hawes.
Make the motion to go into closed session.
Thank you. At 5:36, we had 2 items in closed session. Council, any direction? Councilor Hawes.
Yes, Mayor Michaels, I'd like to move the council accept the Hinton Golf Course Land Economic Opportunities Update for information and direct administration to invite proponents as discussed in closed session to present their development plans to council at the November 9th, 2021 Standing Committee meeting.
Thank you, Councilor Hawes. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Any debate? Questions? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? That's passed unanimously. Councilor Magoon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move that council appoint Laura Howarth as interim chief administrative officer and enter into an employment contract as presented in closed session.
Thank you, Councilor Magoon. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? That's passed unanimously. I do want to take a moment and thank Ms. Howard for her commitment, and we appreciate her serving in these times. Thank you very much. With that, council, anything further? Councilor Nelson.
I'll move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Counselor Nelson. Council, all those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mom.